Good morning, everyone. It is now 11 o'clock. We are at Chatham Primary School and we are broadcasting to our community, to our families, to our children, to the various elderly members of our community, to relatives, to friends, and those who make up Chatham community life. I will pass over to our students very shortly, who will provide a ceremony in recognition and regard and respect for that which follows tomorrow in the driveways of this nation and community at dawn. I would now ask you to make your way to a place where you can listen and hear what our students at this time have to say.
As we approach ANZAC Day this year, we find ourselves in a position only encountered twice before in the history of ANZAC Day. At the conclusion of both World War I and World War II, ANZAC Day services were cancelled due to pandemics circulating the globe. Now we are faced with a similar circumstance. As a nation, we can draw strength from the original ANZACs and those who followed in their footsteps through both world wars: Korea, Vietnam, East Timor, Iraq, and Afghanistan. The men and women who served in these and all other conflicts that Australia has been involved in suffered hardship, isolation, and conditions that brought out the characteristics that the ANZACs are renowned for. From the battlefields at Gallipoli to the Western Front, through engagements in Europe and the Pacific during World War II, in the mountains of Korea and the jungles of Vietnam, to conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. Our service personnel developed a unique set of skills that enabled them to deal with the situations at hand. These were resilience, courage in the face of adversity, the ability to adapt to new and ever-changing situations, and most importantly, mateship. We have all heard the stories of Simpson and his donkey, of our prisoners of war during World War II, the men from 6 RAR who fought in the Battle of Long Tan, and our soldiers in Afghanistan who fought under very difficult circumstances. These are just a few examples of our service men and women who, during times of isolation and hardship, learned traits that enabled them to endure. All ANZACs developed these traits, and it is from here that we as individuals and as a nation can draw from their memory and continue these characteristics in this time of need.
By uniting in our spirit and our thoughts, we can honour that memory of those past and those who are still serving. We will not be able to gather at dawn services and marches in the usual way throughout our cities and towns, but by standing somewhere around your home with our family, we will think about the ANZACs on Saturday the 25th of April, and we will be showing our respect by observing a minute's silence. We will, as a nation, get through these tough times together. And if we can draw on a little of what those Anzacs endured, with tenacity and fortitude, we may find how closely we resemble those remarkable individuals who fought to give us our freedoms today. Together, we will honour the great men and women who, through their resilience to adversity and isolation, showed us a way forward. They were, and still are, the Anzacs. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget.
We will now read a poem titled Not a Hero by Clyde Hamilton, followed by a minute of silence. The ANZAC Day March was over. The old digger had done his best. His body ached from marching. It was time to sit and rest. He made his way to a park bench and sat with lowered head. A young boy passing saw him, approached and politely said, "Please, sir, do you mind if I ask you what the medals you wear are for? Did you get them for being a hero when fighting in a war?" Startled, the old digger moved over and beckoned the boy to sit. Eagerly, the lad accepted. He had not expected this. "First of all, I was not a hero," said the old digger in solemn tone, "but I served with many heroes, the ones that never came home. So when you talk of heroes, it's important to understand the greatest of all heroes gave their lives defending this land."
The medals are worn in their honour as a symbol of respect. All diggers wear them on ANZAC Day. It shows they don't forget. The old digger then climbed to his feet and asked the boy to stand. Carefully he removed the medals and placed them in his hand. He told him he could keep them to treasure throughout his life, a legacy of a kind, left behind, paid for in sacrifice. Overwhelmed, the young boy was speechless. He couldn't find words to say. It was there the old digger left him, going quietly on his way. In the distance, the young boy glimpsed him, saw him turn and wave goodbye. Saddened, he sat alone on the bench, tears welled in his eyes. He never again saw him ever, but still remembers with pride when the old digger told him of heroes and a young boy sat and cried.
We now ask you to observe 1 minute silence. Lest we forget.
Thank you, Zach, Emily, Phoebe and Matt. Families, parents, grandparents, community members. That concludes our ceremony today. Again, I thank you. I thank the Victorian RSL for their support and Victoria Police. And I know that you'll be doing other things, of course, this year for the dawn as you see it tomorrow, the 25th of April. Again, thank you.